How are we? Hey, LinkedIn, we have this amazing duo here, but I have a surprise. I'm going to do something different. Suzanne, do you recognize this?
Yes! Look
I'm
at that!
All of you can't read, it's a Jamaica sarong, and I thought, well, it's bank holiday weekend. We're talking about all things cultural. We're talking about all things ethnic, and we're talking to two powerful women, Roma Taylor, Suzanne Smart. Yes, two generations from the same family, right here, right now, doing things in Wales, and I'm so proud, guys. It's also Windrush 75 and Roma Taylor, the recent EMWWAA, Ethnic Minority Welsh Women's Achievers Association Lifetime Achievement Awardee recipient, Roma Taylor, for all the great work she's done, recently featured on BBC. And Roma is the founder of Windrush Cymru Elders. And you are also still the sitting chair, aren't you, Auntie? I call her Auntie Roma. In our culture, we have respect for our elders. And it's my Auntie Roma. Right. And Suzanne, founder of Positive Imprint. Yes. Can't you see the positivity oozing out of this poet laureate, this spoken word genius, this woman who helps us to find our inner power and overcome traumatic situations. So, guys, fasten your seatbelts. We're in for a ride. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome. Who's going to kick it off? Who's going to kick it off?
You. Man's trying to act shy now.
Well, let me start now and tell you a story about these two. So, ladies and gentlemen, I met Auntie Roma through the Black History Wales Management Committee. And I love Auntie Roma. She's just amazing, inspiring. And then I met Suzanne through networking. And I think, Suzanne is so amazing. I remember when you won the award for your chapter for what's the name of the
my Positive Imprint book.
Yes, what was the name of the awarding company again?
Oh, the Page Turner Award.
Page Turner Awards. And I remember, and I thought, what an amazing young lady. And we got on, didn't we, Suzanne? And Suzanne said to me, well, I'm moving down to Cardiff. I have family in Cardiff. I said, oh, really? You have family in Cardiff? She said, yes. So I said, okay, well, hit me up when you come down. So Suzanne is down in Cardiff and she's on the Zoom and talking to me. In behind her walks Auntie Roma, my favorite. Sorry, anybody else, my favorite auntie. And I could not believe that these two powerful women that impacted my life separately, who I admired so much and who inspired me so much separately, were from the same family. What a powerful thing. So, Auntie Roma, tell us, Windrush 75, start us off. Tell us about when you came to the United Kingdom.
Good afternoon, Bernie.
Yes, good afternoon.
When I came to Cardiff, I was 15 years old.
Wow.
I lived in Tiger Bay. Oh my gosh, the best place to live in at my age when I came. It was the best place to live in because Tiger Bay was a multicultural community.
Yes.
Everybody got on. Nobody had anything bad to say about anyone. Everybody got on. Everyone. There were so many people. You wouldn't believe it. So many people in this world of different color, but we all got on. Everyone got on. And I came to live with my mum because my brother lived in London and my mum lived in Cardiff. And I came to live with my mum. And I went out one afternoon. I went to a place called the Rainbow Club. It's for children from age 4, I think, up to 16. So I went to the club and I met the manager and met a lot of children. And a lot, and a lot of people were there as well. The boxer and I met Betty Campbell.
Yes, Betty Campbell, the great
And
Betty Campbell. Those of you who don't know, tell them who's Betty Campbell, Auntie Roma. Just
Betty
tell them
Campbell
who
was the
people
first
know.
was the first head teacher for Wales, all Wales.
Yes.
The very first head teacher for all Wales. And she had a school called Mount Stewart, and that's down the bay, and that was a fabulous school. She taught the children everything about culture and history, and she was very good. She taught a lot. So one day the manager said, would you and the two little girls dress up in Welsh costumes to meet the royal family? So we dressed her in the Welsh costume. And we stood on the pavement on the Rainbow Club. That's in Bute Street, at the top of Bute Street, where the Salvation Army is now. And we waited there on the pavement, and the family came. They drove past, and then they drove further down the bay, and then they drove back up again, and they waved to us. And Elaine Campbell, who was Betty Campbell's daughter, and Marcia Greaves, my sister-in-law, they waved their flags, because I was holding their hands because of the road, and they waved their flags, and the royal family waved back to us, and it was lovely.
Wow.
And then a few years later, the Sunday morning, some children came knocking on my door. Roma, you're in the paper. I said, what for? They said, I said, what for? And they said, come and have a look. So I went, got the paper, because we always get the paper anyway. But that morning, I was too lazy to get up and go over the shop. So I went and got the paper. And
that's what usually happens, when our ship comes in, we're not there. We're at the bus stop.
That's right.
Go on, Auntie.
And there was that photograph with me and the two little girls, and I was holding their hands, and they had their flags in their other hands. And so years later now, when the Rainbow Club was closed and they were cleaning the house, Mr. and Mrs. Caitner's house in Ninian Road in Roath, and there was a skip outside. In the skip, an elderly gentleman passed by and looked in the skip and saw this box, a shoebox with lots of photographs. So he took them to the Butetown History and Arts.
Wow.
And when they looked inside, they saw all the remembrance of the Rainbow Club. It was so beautiful. When I think about it, I can relive it again and again and again. But anyway, it was beautiful.
Wow.
And then Charlotte Williams, who wrote a book, A Tolerant Nation, went to Butetown History and Arts and asked if she can look at some photos. And she saw these two with the three little girls dressed in Welsh costume. And she said, the first one was me holding the placard with the two little girls sitting down. She said, have you got another one? And they showed her the one with us standing up. She said, this one. She liked that one. Now, Charlotte Williams grew up in North Wales, and the only child of colour. Everywhere she went, she was the only child of colour.
Yeah,
I believe that's why she wrote the book, A Tolerant Nation. Mm-hmm. So she put that photograph on the book, and Rodri Morgan, we were good friends, and he said to me, there's a book going around, and you're on it. So I said, oh. He said, if you go to the library, you'll find it. So I went and I found it. And I just sat down there and cried my eyes out.
Wow.
Because it was so emotional. I didn't realize all these years when I stood outside the Rainbow Club, waving to the royal family, that this book was going to be made and it was going to be the three of us on that book.
Wow,
so that
that's
was
incredible. That's incredible. And ladies and gentlemen, what you don't know is, I talk about my experience with Auntie Roma, but Wales has had such an experience with Roma Taylor. She was a veteran nurse. She was a foster mother. She did so much. And then in her latter years now, in what we call the evening of our years, but I want to call it afternoon because we want you around for a long time. We're not calling on evening yet on your years, Auntie Roma, right? In the afternoon of our years, yes, she looked around and she saw all the elders just bored, just languishing. They'd worked really hard, come to the end of their work life, and just sat there. And so tell us, Auntie Roma, what did you do?
Well, for 7 years, I was asking the Lord to bless me to look after the elders, because when I first came to Britain, and we had the community centre, and we saw each other, but it was only after, because the council moved us out from Butetown and put us all over Cardiff.
Yes.
So we didn't have anywhere to go, but only to the weddings, the christenings, and the funerals.
Yes.
And every time you see each other, it's hi. And you hug each other, you love each other, and then it's bye. You're gone again until the next wedding, christening, and funerals.
Yes.
So that didn't go down very well. So I asked the Lord to bless me to look after the elderly, the old people. I said the elderly, and one night the Lord gave me some stuff, and I was writing it down, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, Lord, I want to go to sleep. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm writing all these things down so I could do what I could do for the elders. But in that 7 years, I was going all over the place asking people, could you help me? Could you help me? Please, can you help me? Nobody wanted to help me. They didn't want to know, So anyway, thank God. God opened the door one afternoon. I went to a meeting, Race Council Cymru meeting, and I met Uzo and Judge Singh. And I said, please, can you help me to look after the elders? And they said, yes, we will. And from then, Race Council Cymru have looked after the Windrush Cymru elders, because some of them, because they moved us all over the place, the council.
Yes.
And some of them didn't have anyone to do anything for them, to look after them.
Yes.
They were stuck in their homes.
Yes.
Sitting there looking at the 4 walls.
Yeah.
Twiddling their thumbs and wondering, when are they going to get help?
Yes.
And that was awful. That's awful. If you live with a family, you feel great. If you live on your own,
yes, it is.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
It is difficult. And, what I'm so pleased to hear you say is, that Race Council Cymru, they took up the mantle to support. And I know that, with the support and the awareness that has been raised, guys, those of you who are watching, you can actually go to the St. Fagans Museum and you can see a lot of what Roma Taylor is telling us about this evening. There are pictures of her other elders, the work, memorabilia of the past. And, because the thing is, the Master in Diversity Conference that is going to be at the City Hall in September, on the 18th of September, those of you who have not yet booked. Auntie Roma, why I affectionately call her Auntie Roma Taylor, she is going to be there representing the Windrush elders. Suzanne is going to be there representing. You can actually go there and have a chat with her, give her a hug. She's incredible. But that conference is all about keeping front of mind people like Roma Taylor, and all the fantastic people in Windrush elders community. The Windrush 75 message, the memory, the value that they brought in this community. But you know what I want to ask? I mean, Suzanne has her own authority in her own right, but I'd love to ask Suzanne speak to me as a daughter. Because you were the daughter of Roma Taylor going through, so would you mind giving us your perspective, your flip side of what her journey?
Oh, okay. So Mum had me when she was 20, on her 20th birthday, actually.
Wow.
So we share a birthday. So
wow.
So that's quite young, really. And it's been a bit of a journey. What can I say? Helping with the younger ones when Mummy was marching, when she was with the TA. I remember Remembrance Days, November. Having to hang on to all the hands. There were 6 of us, so having to hold all the hands, and we'd be out there by City Hall watching them go up.
Did you get a sense of the importance of it at the time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we used to love going down to the barracks, because they were always just so welcoming to us, and I think we were just about the only kids there, weren't we?
No, there was a few.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
You felt like she was the only one.
Like we were the only family, because we used to do everything together anyway.
Yeah.
So there were enough of us that we didn't really need outsiders, so we did so much together. So there was that as well. I'd left home by the time Mummy was fostering, but we still have our sister Jade, who Mummy adopted. So that's great. And it has been a bit of a journey, and now with the elders. So I'm now with the elders as well. So, part of that journey as well. So it's been lovely. It's been great over the years.
Fantastic. You know what I like though to see, and it's not easy to happen, and it's when somebody comes from a family where the forebears, whether it's the parents or the older siblings, are prominent, well-known, doing a lot. It's sometimes very difficult to find your place and your space. But you've done that, Suzanne. So what I'd love for you to do is to share with us, who is Suzanne Smart? Just Suzanne Smart.
I'm me. So I'm a mum, I'm a grandma or a mamgie. 3 daughters, 5 granddaughters, and 1 grandson, and all of them just absolutely gorgeous. And I am biased, but it's the truth. And they're doing well. We've just had one. My eldest is 18, and she has just passed her A levels, so she's going to university. And my second granddaughter,
congratulations!
Thank you. Her GCSEs. I almost said O levels then. Her GCSEs, and so she's been accepted to college. So doing ever so well, flying colours. Honestly, I couldn't be prouder of them all and of my children. So business wise, I am the founder of Positive IMPRINT, and that was born out of me having 2 quite seriously narcissistic and brutal, I think is the word, relationships, and realizing that I was never going to live through a third. So what is it I was going to do to prevent that from happening? And I'd already had some experience of behavior and the brain and the body, etc., and responses to fear and that kind of thing. So I just took that a little bit deeper, did some research, and used the research that I found on myself. And when I'd come through the other side, thought, hang on a minute, I'm sure this can help other people. And so Positive IMPRINT was born. And
Awesome.
it's been an absolute, it's just been amazing, honestly, absolutely just the best journey ever.
Well, I saw recently one of your clients posting on Instagram
Yeah.
their graduation. You
Yeah.
know, it was just so incredible. Oozing positivity.
Yeah.
You know, oozing. Triumph. That's
Yeah.
what I got from that. So tell us a little, because we talk. So I know
Mhm.
there's one of your products called oh gosh, what is it? It's a medical terminology. Trauma
Trauma triage.
trauma triage. Tell us
Trauma
about the trauma
triage.
triage.
So trauma triage is kind of like the backbone. It's the trunk, yeah. To positive imprint, because what that does, I go through the different emotions and where people are, and it gives me an idea of how far down the line they are and what we need to do. Then it helps to form a framework to help them to move forward. So it's just one of my clients called it the key. She said, this is the key to positive imprint. She said, in fact, it's the key to life, just knowing where you stand.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. And
and yeah,
people might ask, okay, I thought Bernie is doing this LinkedIn Live about mastering diversity. So,
mhm.
so what about what's trauma triage? What's all of that about? I'll tell you what that's about. What we need to realize is that people come to us and they present themselves with many, many different aspects of their life, their intersections in the whole diversity, um, you know, agenda, conundrum, whatever you want to call it, mission. So
Mhm.
a lot we talk about women. Let's say women then, because most of your clients are women, but that doesn't mean that you don't have men that also
Absolutely,
struggle, because there are narcissistic men and there are narcissistic women.
absolutely.
There are men who are victims of violence, as well as there are women who are victims of violence
Mhm.
and other kinds of abuse. And so, but when we look at a couple of things, I in my book, I talked about the Rose Review, Alison Rose Review,
Mm.
and about the problem with women, female founders not founding as at the same pace as their male counterparts, and also in the British Business Bank's report, Alone Together, Diversity and Entrepreneurship in the United Kingdom, where they say that, people from the BAME, I know some people don't like the term BAME, but until we can find another one, that's the one we have, where the BAME communities are not, the entrepreneurs are not as scaling at the same pace as their white counterparts, despite the fact that they might be more qualified and work harder. What are some of the things? Trauma.
Absolutely.
They present with trauma. Women present with trauma. They present with things that are these what we call the invisible disabilities.
Yeah.
And that is why what you do is so important, Suzanne. It's not just about, okay, well, let's equip them with facts and knowledge. But if they don't have the mindset
That's right.
that they need to pursue relentlessly their goals,
Mhm.
and to be able to think with clarity,
Mhm.
then they're not going to perform as they should. So, yes, it does matter what we're talking about. That is exactly why we're having this conference, because it
Yeah.
is not just about black, white, sexuality related, within all of that, we're people.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's the people factor
It is.
that we are looking at, and so it takes me back to, you know we are, Susan and I'm older than Susan by far, right? And then you have Susan, and then you have Roma. So we have all these age, we range in a few years between us. And what Auntie Roma had to deal with back then, we don't have to deal with it now. Okay, we're dealing with something different, but we're still the same people.
Yes. And it's still there. There's still that undercurrent.
Exactly.
There is, there is still that. When I deliver equality and diversity workshops, some of the stories I hear, and the one that really got me was actually a major employer in Cardiff, and one of the ladies there said that she opens her front door and she takes a deep breath in every single morning and comes to work, and then goes home and she lets out that breath when she goes home.
So that
and
is
she's been doing that for decades. And I just,
how sad is that? That is akin to putting on a mask. So I talk about us wearing masks all the time.
It's like walking on glass.
That is so sad. And so it takes us to the whole question of what are we doing within the workplaces. That's why I'm so pleased, Suzanne, that you are going into workplaces. You're going into places that work with teams, so you can actually make that difference. I have the privilege as well of doing that. And with Roma, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, because people might think, they didn't have to deal with all of that. Would you share with us your thoughts on that from your perspective, Auntie?
On what?
On the challenges, the personal challenges that we face out there, because you were a veteran nurse, so you were in the system working.
I didn't have many challenges. When I joined the TA, I loved the uniform that my friend had on, and I thought, wow, I'd love that.
Typical.
Well, honesty is the best policy.
So I said to her, how can I join? And she said, yeah, come with me Wednesday night and you can join. Because I used to take Suzanne and Mandy and Diana, and Suzanne, Mandy and Diana, I used to take them to tap and ballet dancing, and Pam had her uniform on, and I said, wow, I love that. So I went up with her. I went the Wednesday night after, I went up to the barracks with her. My gosh, I couldn't get over it. I just love the place. Awesome. And we go there now for our meetings because they look after us. They're very good. They look after the elders.
It's interesting you say that, Auntie Roma, because that's the thing. Some people, it's refreshing that you're saying it as well, and not saying it in this context, but in your context, because people might find that hard to believe, that, there are places and spaces that where people of color and women of color can still, find acceptance, find allyship, because that's what you clearly had within the TA. You were, and I had that experience when I moved to Wales for a long time. Out there in the corporate world, there was no closed doors for me for a long time. I couldn't understand it. Of course, afterwards, in different contexts, you might experience it. So as I said in my book, the truth is, Wales is the place that I have had the most unconditional love, and also the place that I've also had some serious racism. And you might think, oh, what you say now, you're contradicting yourself. No, the fact is that is life. You will find the different things, and you've got to learn to maneuver. And because of that, we can't sit on our laurels if we find that there are some people that are getting it and think that some people don't need to get it. The journey continues. The work must continue, because there are some places that haven't yet got it. But don't give up hope, because there are places that have embraced it and have come alongside it. That, I think, is a true Welsh story. What do you think? I see you nodding there, Suzanne.
Yes, absolutely. Both ends of the scale. I have had, the best love in Wales. I've lived in England, various parts of England for a while, and nothing like Wales, hence me racing back. Home. But absolutely. And I think I must have been about 7, and Mummy and I were walking home from somewhere, and this group of boys came past, and went, oh, look at that black cloud up in the sky. And the sky was cloudless. But 7 years old, I didn't know what they were talking about. So I looked up, and then we went, stop looking up, don't look up, don't look up. Keep walking, look forward, keep walking, she said. So that was my very first taste of racism, but obviously didn't know what it meant.
Do you know what? 100%. That is, sometimes you don't know, you don't even know it because you're not looking for it.
No idea. No, it was wasted on me, So, and another time I applied for a job, part-time job in a nightclub that used to be in town called Bananas, and you had to go down this very long staircase, very steep, very long staircase. So made the appointment on the phone. Yeah, you sound perfect. Come on down, blah, blah, blah. As I walked through the door and started going down the stairs, and I said, oh, hi, always remember his name. Oh, hi, is Dave about? I came about, and he went, it's gone. And he was rolling a barrel at the time and just kept rolling. I thought, right, that's fine. Better that, So little kind of pockets like that. But in the main, wonderful, wonderful experience. People, just taking me for who I am, as I am. And I can honestly say for Wales, that the experience has been mainly positive for me. Only a couple of little bits of racism, but on the whole, an absolutely positive experience.
Yes, I have to say that for myself. Auntie Roma, you want to come in here with anything? Because I know you must have some stories.
Yes, so when I joined the TA, I loved it. I wondered why I didn't go in the regulars before, but it doesn't matter anyway. So while I was in the TA, I was chosen to go to Wembley, Westminster Abbey, to march for the Queen. And I think it was 7 of us. And I was chosen again to go Westminster Abbey, Wembley. I was chosen to go to Wembley. And they just drove right beside me, which was lovely. And I thought, my gosh, I met you when I was 15. Because I met them when I was 15, and then again when I was in the TA, and I was chosen again to go to City Hall.
Yes.
To meet the Queen's cousin, the one with the beard.
Which one is that? Do we know which one is that? The one? You remember the name, Suzanne? The one with the beard.
Prince Michael of Kent, that one.
Yeah.
The beardy one.
The beardy one.
And when he shook my hand, he said, have you got a family? I said, yes. How many children have you got? And I said, I've got, how many did I have at the time? Yes, I said, I've got 6 children. And he said, and they're all right for you, and they're all right. How do you get around? I said, my husband and my eldest daughter, and I get a nanny. And he said, oh, there's wonderful. And he said, do you love the tea? I said, oh, I love it.
You love the uniform.
I should have joined ages ago. So, life in the TA has been really, that's why I loved it. It's been really wonderful to be chosen to go to Westminster Abbey, and I haven't been in long, and then to Wembley, and then to meet Michael in.
But you've been chosen for a lot of things, haven't you?
Pardon?
You have been chosen for a lot of things. You are the chosen one.
I just thank the Lord.
Honestly.
That's why our theme song is The Goodness of God, because all my life, He's been there for me.
Yes.
He's been there for me. And I just thank him for all he's done for me. We've been so many places. And when I first found the Windrush Cymru elders, Uzo said, Auntie Roma, this is going to be big. And I said, oh, Thank the
Mhm.
Lord. I said, the Lord gave it to me, so it will be big. And
Oh.
look at it. It's gone through the roof.
Yes, the blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow. Look at
Yes.
you. You're
Yes.
Benjamin Button. Yeah,
Yes.
growing younger, not growing.
Benjamin Button, I like that.
Well,
And
listen,
we've been all...
Auntie,
Sorry.
you
Yeah.
have to tell them about what's coming up on what's the date in October? Oh, I mean, when I say she's chosen, she's
That's the Black
chosen.
History.
No, not Black History. The film.
The film.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
who is the person on the
Yes,
film?
our
Who is the
premiere. Oh,
person?
dear.
Everywhere I look is Auntie Roma.
Our premiere with the
Yes.
back of my head.
Yeah, everybody knows that. That's your signature hairstyle.
Everybody knows
That's Auntie Roma.
Everybody
About the
knows
film.
who that is. The back
Yeah.
of my head.
Yes.
I said, Will, oh my God, Will's brother took that picture. And I didn't even know that. When I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh. I said, Will, thank you for the picture. He said, oh, my brother took it. I went, oh, there's lovely. And everybody sees it. And I just laugh my head off when I see it.
You don't ask who it is. It's Auntie Roma. And honestly.
Really, she's done so much, you can't even remember half of it.
I know. I have
and then there was
memories,
a time.
You know, I have my memories with the Windrush. We used to run Jamaican Chills, and we had Independence Day, and it was at Wine Street one. I think that's where I met Auntie Roma first. You know, we had one niece, but Len Lawrence came, but you didn't come. But then we had the win. Oh my gosh, I remember the day I was so emotional when I saw you guys arrive, looking so, polished, well dressed, sophisticated. Coming into the Jamaican jail, sat there. Oh my gosh. I was like, that's the first time that I met you, the Windrush elders. And then remember when we went on tour, Auntie, it was after the Windrush quote unquote scandal.
Oh, Liverpool.
Yeah, we went to Liverpool and we went to
London.
Yes, Tilbury Docks,
Bristol.
Oh my gosh. And we went along, Mark and I tell you, Mark, my husband Mark, for those of you who don't know, my husband Mark Davies, he absolutely loves, he was just blown away just to sit in that coach. The world government funded as coaches, those of you who don't know, funded coaches for people to go and visit these various places. In Bristol, it was the Museum of Slavery, I think and also in Liverpool, and then went the Tilbury Docks. So we went to the Tilbury Docks, and it was so it could not have been planned better, because while we were there, remember the ship came in.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
that was lovely.
And and just to sit and listen to the people singing. We have to call their names. Some of them are passed on now. It's Angela. Is it Angela? Yes, call their names, please, Auntie. You remember them who passed on?
Donna.
Donna's
passed.
There is the one who was the midwife.
Yeah, that's Donna Campbell.
Oh, Donna was no. She done blood.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember their names, but I know Angela. She was, and the voices singing in the coach. Oh my goodness. It speaks of a time that was, and also a time that is. It's emerging, and I can't wait. It's going to be all, guys, call your friends to come and watch this. And when you watched it, you need to share it, because Suzanne is going to pull it all together with her spoken word about, what it really means to come here and become Welsh whilst maintaining your core culture and your memories. It is just, It's just incredible, because that's what it's all about. It's not about losing your identity.
No,
It is having that identity become a part
absolutely.
of the whole thing
Yeah.
that makes up who we are, who our
Mhm.
family are, who and so that our friends and people that we meet around us, their
Mhm.
lives can be enriched. Because
Absolutely.
recently my granddaughter, she's white, is my step granddaughter, and she was here and she said, Grandma Bernie, speak to me in Jamaican. And I said, well, Jamaicans speak English, Lucy. She said, huh? I said, you don't speak another. I said, well, we have a language that we're trying to get recognized as a language. It's like, like a slang called patois. But, really, we speak Jamaican. And when afterwards I thought to myself, this young lady who is Welsh, having me as her grandma, I can teach her stuff. She's going to be that much more exposed
Absolutely.
and cultured than her other counterparts if they don't get that experience. And she said to me when Barbie was out, she said, Grandma, I want one that looks just like you. It's so incredible. When we're able to just bring the worlds together, isn't it? And that's why we need to have these platforms where we can teach and we can enlighten and we can blend. It's just incredible. Yes. Well, we're on 1641. I would love now, coming up to this time, we usually have our guests just have a last statement, the moment that they can just say something that's on their heart that they would like us to really pay attention to and, bear in mind after the event. So let's start with Auntie Roma. What would you like to just share with us that I might not have asked you that you think I'd love to get this out? Now is your time to tell me of that thing. And if you thought you got everything out, then instead of that, tell us what out of what you've shared you would like us to at least keep and not forget. If you forget anything else, don't forget this thing I said to you. Okay?
Well, don't what really makes me happy when I think about when I first came over was the way we lived in Tiger Bay. Because everybody, they run it down and they say all sorts of things about it, but it was the best. I won't say one of the best. It was the best place to live. And
Wow.
I didn't bring my children up there because they had put us all over the place. But it's the best place to live, and it was the best place for families. Because everyone that lived in Tiger Bay, they were all families. Everybody respected each other, and we were all families. And it would be nice if the Windrush Cymru elders could live like that, live as families, because some of us are so far away from each other sometimes, and you can't get to everything, and it hurts them that can't get to the elders' meetings and that. It hurts them to know that they can't go here and they can't go there. So I'm looking, we're going to start a funding.
Yes.
So that the elders there are a few elders that can't get to the meetings, and they've got walkers and not very good on their feet.
Yes.
The other day I saw one and she said, "Oh, Roma, everybody forgot about me." I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. We're trying to get funding for transport so that people who can't get to the meetings can get there." And that's what I would love to see from now on, so that we can get funding and get the people who are unable to attend meetings. All that, because some of them were housebound before, but now, they that are housebound and can't get out, we would love to take them places, because the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, they've
Yes.
given us a room, and they said that's your home for life. So thank God we've got a room in the college, and we've got a room in the barracks. We can go to the barracks anytime, just as we can go to the college.
Yes.
So God has, he planned this, and he gave it to me, and I'm so thankful, because he also gave me a great grandson called Jacob. He was born
Lovely name.
22nd of June.
Yes.
2019.
That's my husband's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
That's
the day. That's the day that Parliament gave the Windrush generation a day for celebration.
Yes. Yes.
Little Jacob was born on little Jacob was born on that day.
Yes.
And for Black History, my great granddaughter Darcy, she was born the 2nd of October. So there we are.
Wow, that's amazing.
I didn't plan it, because I can't plan anything. God planned it, and he gave it to me, and I give him thanks. And that's why I like to thank him when I give speeches. Because before, when I used to give speeches, I used to bawl my eyes out, and I thought, no, I can't be doing this. You can't be giving a speech and bawling your eyes out.
Yes.
And he's taken that away, thank God.
Yes.
It's good that I can give a speech without
bawling. Without getting too emotional, so you can get the message across.
Yes, I can go away and bawl my eyes out
afterwards.
But
so do you need any one of you who will pick up this live afterwards, if you can support the Windrush elders with funding, with anything, reach out to Auntie Roma. How would they reach out to you, Auntie?
Well, they can Race Council Cymru has got
Race Council Cymru.
The bank, has got the bank details.
Yes.
Yeah, Race Council Cymru has got the bank details if they want to.
So they would go to Race Council Cymru, Professor Uzo Iwobi.
Yes.
And she will get you in touch with Auntie Roma if you feel moved to help to get the support for the elders, get them to be able to
get the elders
more and so on. Let's do this, guys. They deserve it. They deserve it. No, thank you so much, Auntie. Now, listen.
We need to look after the treasured saints.
Amen. Amen. Yes, I love it. Suzanne, I know you have a little treat for us. Yes. Guys, fasten your seatbelts, because I was at a Windrush celebration at the City Hall. Now, I know Suzanne, and I know she does spoken word, but I tell you, I was still not prepared for this amazing piece that God gave her, because every good gift comes from the Lord. And, Suzanne, she got this word to speak to us at such a time as this. Listen to the talent. Go on, Suzanne.
Okay.
Hang on, let me spotlight you first. Let me get you in there. Let's go.
So, the British Red buses blew into the Commonwealth, carried on the surreptitious westerly trade winds. Their mission, should we choose to accept it, was to recruit from their British stock to come to Britain. Why? Because we need you. We need you in our establishments. We need you to drive our buses. We need you to run our railways. We need you to nurse our sick. We need you to rebuild our infrastructure. The harvest is plenty, but the labourers are few. We're stretching out our welcoming arms to make a deal with you to help rebuild the motherland. Now, form an orderly queue. We'll stamp your British passport and take real good care of you. So we sold our land and left our homes and sailed across the seas. Boy, was there a welcome when we docked at Tilbury. The promise of a warm embrace was not a cutch, but a myth. And we were dumped at the dock for days on end, having to sift through a sea of belongings to spot our one little grip. We trudged the streets only to see the signs, you know the ones. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish, treating us all like bums. And they say that love is blind, but the love displayed was the love of hatred, of the nefarious kind, the loathing of those with distinctive skin tones. And with the breeding castigation came the realization that actually, this may not be our home. We left home to come home to be told to go black home. But to us, home was where our queen resided. Little did we know we would be blindsided by the xenophobic taunts of the native Brits, whose welcoming arms we found stayed wide open, didn't catch us, no embrace. So we fell to the cold, hard ground. We looked up and we got up. We put our shoulders to the wheels and we dug in our heels, and against all odds raised families who now, generations on, are forging a path. On the shoulders of the giants who first gave their hearts to the call for help to a bombed out state, turning the tide of love and hate by telling our stories, how it all made us feel. And the beauty of it all is the time really does heal. So now we celebrate a Wales that's red, green and white, blended with the spectrum of skin colours worldwide. A Wales that we can all be proud of how far we've all come, where we enjoy iechyd da, bore da and get out of it, man. Kudos to Welsh Government who have blazed the trail for a welcome in the hillside and a welcome in the Vales. The work has really, truly begun for a united Wales. Dual heritage, bilingual, see, woven with pride into the multifaceted tapestry of God's own country. Singing our songs of freedom, wearing our hearts on our sleeves, no longer the new butts on the block, our beating hearts coloured red, white and green. Because as David Iowen so rightly sings, a heddiw, wel I ni. And today look at us, Ryniam o hyd, gwaethaf pawb a phopeth, still here, in spite of everyone, everything. We are Windrush, we are Welsh, forever building a commonwealth, not for some, but for all. Croeso I Gymru, Cymru am byth. Diolch yn fawr.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! It's amazing. Awesome. Now, normally, right, when Suzanne does this, you go, Aggie. Oh, yeah.
That was wild.
Now that is talent. That is class. That is truth. Because as Susan says, time does heal. And yes, those things happened. And in all our journeys in life, things happen.
Amen.
But what caused things to change? Not giving up and integration. So we need to, we need to continue to build communities that integrate all types. We want to interweave all cultures, all peoples, all skins, all creeds. We need to continue to build a Wales.
Yes.
That represents the true red, white, and green. Yes. And honestly, I really feel that now, this particular time that we are in, is a momentous time. And I honestly think that in future, historians are going to write about this time.
Yes.
You know, when they write about the Welsh revival, I honestly think they're going to write about these times.
Yes.
Because there is a groundswell. There is a meeting of hearts and minds right now that has not heretofore been. And a lot of what has happened in the past now have come into its own. Yes. And I am so thrilled to be a part of what's going on. And that is why I found that it was so important to have that diversity and inclusion conference in the heart of Cardiff, because Cardiff is the capital city of Wales, and at the city hall, because it was symbolic. And that is why I'm so thrilled. And that's why I know people ask me, how is it you have 3 ministers? It's not me have 3 ministers. It's the mission has 3 ministers.
Yes.
We already had it. You know, it's the anti-racist action plan, you know, the criminal justice racist action plan, all these various things that have been going on, all of these things that the government has been looking at, the equalities. I mean, Councillor Julie Sangani, who will be speaking in the representation zone, who is cabinet member for equalities, you know, Vaughan Gething, Minister for the Economy, Minister for Social Justice and Chief Whip, Jane Hutt, the First Minister himself will be there. You know, Admiral will not be speaking, but I know they have people coming. Deloitte will be coming and delivering in one of the zones. NatWest, BBC has sponsored. They put their money behind it. Come on. I can't do that. Who am I? It's not me. It's the mission.
Yes.
It's what it's about.
That's right.
And
so
no
much bigger
special
than all
connections. But it's the mission that is the magnet. Yes? S4C have also sponsored a zone and they're delivering.
Fantastic.
Yes. NatWest, Paratech, Women's Equality Network, Bowser. Oh, I can't. Princess Trust. I cannot name all the people, honestly, that are organizations that are coming. It's just little me. So it's not about me. It's and when you get behind a mission that is bigger than yourself, and you are willing to open your arms and ask for help, well, this is what happens. And so I just know that it is going to be incredible, guys. It's already the zones are bulging. The the tickets are coming out of the. Get your tickets, guys, because it is going to be incredible. Suzanne will be delivering her spoken word on the day. There's no way that ceremony is going to open and Suzanne doesn't. Come on and buy my book, guys, and read about it and understand my heart, and also see there we go. Boop. Awesome.
Have it.
Fantastic.
Have it.
Oh, I'm telling you, awesome. It's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. So let me see what we are now. All right. So last words. Who wants the last word?
Me.
Go on. Let me spotlight you. Let me spotlight you.
Come on, spotlight me. Spotlight me. Yeah. This has been great, Bernie. Absolutely great. And I am looking forward to the event on the 18th, simply because what you have managed to do there is pull together so many different elements under one roof. And, you know, only good can come of that. It's almost like, you know, a huge melting pot. And only good can come from that.
Yes.
And thank you for, you know, highlighting the fact that, you know, trauma, EDI, one thing.
Yes.
Because we are, you know, trauma can come from anywhere. And it's about everybody realizing that it can be sorted. We can help people through trauma so that they then, because you then become stronger individuals.
Exactly. And then you can also articulate your needs better.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then there'll be more of a meeting of the minds. We're on down on our last part of the minute. Auntie?
Yes?
Yes, you have 2 seconds.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Woo! Awesome.
We've had a lovely afternoon. Thank you.
Okay,
And,
awesome.
Looking
yes,
forward
we're gonna go
to
now. Yeah, it's a wrap. Don't go anywhere, guys. Awesome. All right.
Praise God.
Awesome.